What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new video, and this is a video talking about my experience where potentially a angel. I don't know. I don't want to say like. Sorry, I got a mint in my mouth. I don't want to say like it was an angel because I don't. Because I am one of those types of people where if a door closes on its own, I just say, "Oh, it's probably the wind." Like kind of like a scientific type approach to the ghost, so you can believe what I actually say because sometimes I kind of don't believe myself what I say, even though it sounds stupid, I know. But yeah, basically, there's around me called a place around me called Rabbit Rocks, right? And I think I went there around 5 or 6 in the morning. I think it was 5 in the morning because I used to, well, not normally, I used to go out as soon as it starts to get light. As in, like, literally, if I see any light, I'll just go out because I know by the time I'm coming back, it will be obviously sunlight, and then obviously I go in my room and obviously play games, which my Xbox is rather. So hopefully like in the background. I'm currently sat on a ball because I've now got a chair that's like this small, and my setup's on a camera on my main chair. Anyway, but yeah, basically I was walking around around 5 to 6 a.m., maybe even 4 a.m. And basically I was trying to do some like ghost hunting video. And I think the video is on my other channel, Killer Keycat. I think it's on that channel. I'm not 100% sure, but basically, as I was like going out there and like trying to talk to people, well, spirits. I mean, they are people, but you never know. I was trying to talk to, I guess, spirits and stuff because it is like a canal, and obviously, and there was a pub around there. I don't know. I think it is still operational. I don't know. And obviously people would get drunk and fall in and drown, and you would get those idiots that would like jump in and drown because they wanted to swim in. Which, why would you want to swim in like some dirty canal? I don't know. And obviously there was, I think, a boy drowned out in that area too because his friends forced him into the pool. Oh, it's like a little pond thing, like a big pond or whatever. And then there's like a pond in the actual Rabbit Rocks, and then obviously to the right of the Rabbit Rocks there's like a canal that goes all the way down to Liverpool and obviously out into the ocean. And basically, obviously in Rabbit Rocks there's the pool, and obviously a boy drowned there, which is obviously sad because he couldn't swim and his friends kind of forced him to go into there even though he couldn't swim, so he drowned. But and obviously all the people that pass away in the canal because of being drunk and falling in it, because it's a canal, so you get weeds at the bottom that you get tangled up in, and it's just bad. And plus there's like a if you fall in like a certain area, I think there's like a thing that like pulls you under, and then you just drown somewhere in there, and they have to drain the whole canal just to even get you out because it kind of pulls you under. Sorry, the mint. But basically, yeah, it's very dangerous to swim in a canal in certain areas. There is certain areas where you can probably dive in, swim around, but if you go out too far, you probably get stuck and drown probably. So it's probably not the best for like someone just casually doing it. But like obviously an expert swimmer that is trained to swim through reeds and weeds and stuff like that, they probably can swim, but it's not recommended. Very not. Obviously, and obviously where it becomes a lot of obviously dead bodies and stuff, as in like spirits, people dying, and obviously water's a main thing. Well, I don't know if it is a main thing, but they do say that it's a main thing of like energy for spirits, or like kind of like an energy source if it's constantly flowing and all that. And I know the bridge bit, because obviously how a canal works, you're on a boat, right, and you're like sailing, and then you have to stop and drive. Well, I don't know how to, I guess drive? I don't know. And then you go into this like little thing and it closes off behind you. So you're here, it closes off behind you. And then the water levels like raise up, and then you go down and you go up, and basically like that. And that's how you basically go down, or you go up, sorry. And then when you go down, you have to go through that, raise the water, and then you would drive on it, and then behind you it would close, and then obviously the water would lower, and then you would go. And it's basically like that, kind of like a route down. 1 minute, there you go. And it's like a route kind of like down. It keeps on going like down and down. Or if you're going this way, it goes up, like that basically. And that's basically the most explanation I can do. You can obviously search how a canal works. It's not really hard, but because obviously I live next to it, and obviously I know how it works. And plus, my dad used to be a caretaker of like the opening them and all that type of stuff. Rest in peace. But basically, around there, obviously a lot of drunk people died and passed away. So I went there. Anyway, catching up. I basically went there to do this like ghost hunting, right? Because obviously it's an interesting area, and plus it used to be a mine, not a mine, an iron thing where they would make like roads, they would make iron stuff. It's like an iron area basically where they would like mine and bring all the iron to this certain area. Because you can see like the bricks on the floor where the building used to be. I wish it was still there, but obviously they knocked it down because it's probably hazardous or something. I don't know. And I think there used to be a train track that used to go through. Probably not anymore though. Sorry, but yeah, basically. So obviously a lot of people has been there working on the mines, and potentially people probably died there because obviously when you're working with machines back then, it was a lot dangerous than you are back like now. Because nowadays, the most dangerous like operational jobs and stuff with machines are obviously automatic, and robots use them because they're more dangerous to humans, and the less dangerous ones obviously humans use. But if you do look at it like that, potentially, because obviously back then they even made kids that like 10 even work in like machinery workhouses and stuff, because obviously back then they just didn't care who worked as long as you were working basically. And even kids were kicked out on the streets, which is stupid to think about that nowadays. And you're probably put in prison for it anyway. But yeah, and obviously there's probably a lot of trauma that happened in those machineries, because imagine seeing someone's arm getting squished or ripped off or something like that. And obviously back then they didn't really have the best medicine or the best options, so they probably would have died there too, so sadly. And the bricks are still there, so anything that would have absorbed into those bricks is 100% there, because obviously the main floor of the actual building that used to be there is still there. And so basically, I do really believe that walls like this can absorb hate, like sadness, anger. They can absorb it and kind of keep that energy in. And when the next person moves in, I guess they have to get it blessed or something. I don't know. I don't know how it quite works, but I do believe in absorbing energy through walls and stuff. Where if you say someone kills someone in a room, right? There's probably a lot of anger. There's probably a lot of sadness and mistake, like guilt feeling after they've done it, or if they're like not feeling that, then they'll probably just feel anger and stuff. And also when you walk into that room, you can see, well, you can't see, but if you're an empathic like me, you can normally feel the energy change to where it's just normal, and you walk into a room and it kind of just drops. Or I don't know how to explain it. You can probably Google it and obviously get a better explanation of it. But the energy changes, and you can feel the energy of like sadness, maybe whatever it may be, whatever energy it might be, whether it's sadness, happiness, or like anger or anything like that. You can feel that type of change. That I believe you can feel those types of change. It's just a natural human thing you can do if you have like more empathic type of stuff. Sorry. And basically around there, like in Rabbit Rocks, when I was like walking around, because I think I went up the hill first. 1 minute. I went up the hill first, and basically it was I felt so like I kept on looking behind me, because I felt someone was literally following me from behind me, looking at me and stuff. And every time I would look behind me, there was literally nothing there. And obviously this is like 5 to 6 a.m. No one's going to be out walking their dogs at like 5 to 6 a.m. but when it's barely even light outside. Because like I said, it's like very, as soon as it hits some light, I would go out. And basically it felt so bad there, like not like dangerous bad, it just felt uncomfortable and like someone was watching you. And so I walked obviously further down to the main bit where like probably a bunch of people normally stay, because the view's like amazing. You can see like the whole Wigan and stuff. It's like really beautiful to even be up there. But basically, as I got there and I was walking past this like hill climbing bit where you'd probably climb. You don't need any gear to climb it. You just probably would hold onto some rocks and climb up, because it's not like I think it's vertical. I think that's the right word. It's more like a sloped type of approach. And obviously there's the smart way, which is just goes up gradually, but it's more slower. And I was walking past that, and there was basically this rock sticking out, because the only reason that hill is there because a bunch of miners just dumped all the rocks there, like all the useless rocks and all that. That's why you get like these weird black looking rocks and just weird shaped rocks that are like circular and stuff. And basically I was walking there, and I saw this shadow, kind of like, I wouldn't say like a person shadow, it could have just been like an animal. I would say it's not a bunny or it's not fox or anything, because I don't think we get pitch black foxes or animals around here. I know we get deers, but it definitely wasn't deer, because I would have saw the deer. I wouldn't have just saw this straight, just like kind of like this. I kind of just saw this. It wasn't any like color. It was just this, but like more of like an animal type of fox type of looking shape. But it wasn't fox, because obviously they're bright, what, red or something? Or was it orange? Whatever. The bright orange, and I don't think we get black foxes around Wigan and Ince and Makerfield and stuff like that. And it's like, so I first saw that and I kind of just shrugged it off, because again, I'm one of those like scientific persons that just doesn't, agree with looking at that, like picturing that type of stuff. But basically I saw that and it kind of freaked me out a little bit, but I didn't believe in it enough to make it scare me and to make me run out and like, oh, it's a demon type of thing. But it did like puzzle me when I looked at it and when I saw it, when I just saw it. And it wasn't like my shadow or anything, because if it was my shadow, it would look like basically like me, but just obviously like a shadow, like a person. But it didn't look like a person. It was like on all fours, like, what's the word? Whatever. It was basically like running like an animal, and it was just pitch black. There was no like colours on it or anything. It was just pitch black like this, like a shadow, and it was running on all fours, and it went behind the rock. And you would think when something's running behind something, either it stays there or it carries on running past it, and you would see it going past it and probably wherever it wanted to go. But it didn't. It literally ran past the rock, and then nothing happened. It didn't run out. It didn't, it didn't jump in the air or whatever. It didn't fly away. And then once I walked to it where I could turn and see behind the rock without actually going, to the rock and going behind it, I literally can see it because it's like down a hill slightly. And basically, I looked at it and there was nothing there. There wasn't no holes in the ground, so that we couldn't have went underground or anything. There was no holes there. There wasn't any holes in the rock. There was really nothing there for it to go in, which kind of is freaky to think about, Thinking about it now, it is kind of scary. Thinking about it now that I did see something like that, but back then, in the moment, I kind of shrugged it off as my shadow, even though I know damn well that it was not shaped like me. And it wasn't even light out, it was just getting to light, so it was kind of dark / light, if that even makes sense. You would know what I mean if you go out in like early in the mornings, like early. And basically then I saw that, and then after crossing where that rock is, I just felt extremely uncomfortable, like probably the most uncomfortable I felt ever in my life, honestly. And I definitely felt like that someone was watching me, someone was looking at me. And yes, you can say that that's like some like psychological thing where you're on your own, and of course your mind is constantly thinking like, oh, there's probably someone behind me and stuff, and we just get those feelings, and you can say it's probably psychological or it's something with your mind. But I did really feel like there was someone behind me walking and looking at me, because it's just terrifying, really, rethinking about it. And obviously it could be just some psychological thing that some people have where they feel like there's people behind them when they're on their own and stuff. But as I was obviously walking down, it got worse and worse, like the feeling of worriness and kind of fear. I would say it's like fear, but it's not fear. Like, it's not being scared, but it's like on the realm of being scared, if that even makes sense. And then obviously I started like talking out saying, oh, if there's any good spirits, then I hope you go to heaven and stuff like that. And then it started getting worse. Once I said heaven, the word heaven, now obviously that's some like thing, oh, you said heaven, and like, of course it's going to get worse. And that's exactly what I'm obviously thinking about now, that obviously, oh, I said heaven, so of course it thinks bad because I'm thinking about that stuff. But once I said heaven, then it actually like gradually got worse, as I kept on saying, if there's any good spirits, please let this angel, or my guardian angel, help you to heaven. And then it just got worse, and then basically I started getting like really bad like type of anxiety and stuff. 1 minute, let me just click on that, bad anxiety and stuff. And as that was happening, I basically, obviously, I wouldn't say prayed, I didn't get on my knees and started praying or whatever, but I did say out loud, if God is here, then obviously send help, because obviously I felt extremely uncomfortable and I didn't feel safe. Yeah, I didn't feel safe, that's a more better word than fear. I didn't feel safe where I was, on Rabbit Rocks. And obviously then, as I was walking and still filming, it started to like rain a little, like only a tiny bit, like kind of like spitting. That's what we say over in Wigan or wherever in the UK. That's what we say. It's like spitting, because it's like, it's not raining, but it's kind of just like little tiny types of rain. And basically, then I was going to put my phone away, but then I think it was my phone that I had on me, or my tablet. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was the tablet actually. I was going to put it away, and then as I put it away, I literally see this like white orb kind of like shoot down from the sky. Like I can't explain it. It was like a very, very, very white orb looking thing. It wasn't like a flashlight or anything like that. I can see it wasn't anything like that, because I didn't see anything like that. It was just this orb of just white that flew down, and as it got to the ground, it disappeared. Basically, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, other than it was a white orb that I saw with my eyes. I didn't see it through the camera or anything. I just saw it through my eyes, and it flew down and then disappeared. And then after, literally, and this is the honest to God, because like I said, I'm more scientific to approach those types of things, kind of like, you know what I mean. And I felt way more better. It like wasn't instantly feeling better. As soon as it hit the ground, I started feeling magical, but as soon as it hit the ground, and probably a minute, 2 minutes after of when I saw it, because it was far off, it was like far away, that I saw it. I didn't see it right in front of me. It was like far away, like down the hill a bit. I saw it come down like down the hill, and as from the sky to the ground. And I guess if it was maybe like an angel or something, because I did ask for Archangel Michael, I think I asked for. I think that was the angel. Yeah, that was the angel I asked for. Now I don't know what those types of angels are. I just know that they're the strong ones. So I obviously asked for that type of one, because obviously if it's like a demon, then obviously they can take care of it. You know what I mean? And basically, after like probably a minute, 2 minutes, I just felt better. Like I felt less alone, I guess, less fearful, I guess. I don't know how to word it properly. I'm not really good at wording stuff, but I felt less like there was danger there, and more there was peace there. It's like, it was like a weird peace, happy relief feeling, all mixed into like one, and it kind of flooded through my body. That feeling, it kind of flooded, like, because obviously when you're scared, it's normally in the chest that you feel the fear and stuff. Like you kind of feel sickly and type of stuff in your it's your stomach, where if something bad's going to happen, you get that stomach feeling. That was all gone. It was like this wave of just, I guess, not being scared or whatever, not being, And then after that, I basically walked home. And I didn't walk home straight away. I was walking home. And as I was walking home, there's like this area where you go down the path, and to the right of you, there's like this dark area. Kind of, no, I wouldn't say like this. Basically, you're walking home. Well, I'm walking home, right? And down to the right, because obviously it's dark, so it doesn't really. It's kind of like darky light, so it doesn't really help with the lighting and stuff. And obviously, if you were to turn right, you would go down, and and it would be this pitch black because all the trees were like grown over it, so it was like a thing for trees covering like the moonlight or the semi-sunlight because it was only just rising, and it's kind of blocking out the light, so it was like pitch black, and I kind of felt the same feeling, like there was something there, but it was more of a safe something's there feeling, like I feel safe, but I felt like there was someone there, like something bad there. And so I basically ran, and yes, I did run even though I was feeling like good, but I just didn't want to be involved with whatever's there, so I did run. Now as I was running past it, there's like a forest, well I wouldn't say like a forest, it was like a bunch of, it's like a woodlands thing, like a very small one to the right of me, and as I was running down, I just felt like I just felt I did hear I could hear I could hear this running through the little like patch of trees. I could just hear this thing running behind me, and then so I sped up, and then it was speeding up, but it didn't like speed up to where it was going to overtake me. It just sped up to where it was like slightly behind me. I guess I can just do this. Where this is me, and then this is the weird noise. I was like here, and I crossed it, and then obviously the trees are all here, and as I crossed the trees, it started like following me, and then obviously I sped up, and it kept on doing that same, like I would say this much from away from me, and it just kept on following me, and obviously when I sped up, it would obviously speed up too, and obviously yeah, it could be a fox, it could be a deer, but it wasn't like in that type of area where deers or foxes would attack you, because normally I've seen deers and I've seen foxes before, and they normally just run away instantly, or if it was a fox, they would just go back to his hole or whatever. And if it was a fox, it would have chased me all the way, which it didn't. It stopped when the actual trees stopped and went onto another path, and then there was more trees. But it didn't cross that path. It just stayed in that other set of trees, basically. And then I didn't feel anything after that, and obviously then I went home, and it was, and I kind of forgot about it until now, because I was just sat here thinking what to upload, and obviously it just went to, I remembered went to it in mind, and I remembered the scenario that I went through, and yeah, this is basically it really. So if you even did get to this part of the video, I do appreciate it, and please like and subscribe, and yeah, hope you enjoyed.